Have you ever heard about barriers to effective communications? Well, today we are going to talk about this. First, we must know that communication is a process in where a message is sent through a system of signs and symbols from a sender to a recipient. This process faces some barriers, which may divert information or may be confusing. Some of these barriers are semantic, psychological, organizational, cultural, physical, and physiological. Semantic barrier. It happens when the message is not clear and precise. For example, when the sender speaks in English while the recipient speaks and understands in Spanish. Another reason is when speaking in technical way. Psychological barriers. The mental state of the sender and receiver can make it difficult to understand the information transmitted and can cause misunderstanding. An example is when the receiver is angry and misinterprets the information received. Organizational barriers are caused due to the structure, rules, and regulations in the organization. When there is a weak organizational structure and many managers, the information gets distorted, leading to miscommunication.
Following with the barriers arise when the lack of similarity among different cultures. A term can be harmless to another culture, and the other culture may be defined as a slang. The physical barriers in some factors is like the equipment noise, closed doors, the cabin can cause the information sent from the sender to the receiver become disordered. Physiological barrier when a sender or receiver of the communication is not a position to express the message because of some physiological issues such as the alexas of nervousness that interferes during the speech or hearing. How to overcome them? Taking the receiver more seriously, thinking more clearly about the message, and delivering the message skillfully. For instance, the elimination of this barrier, you can apply the orientation, suitable language, good listening, knowing the receiver, and feedback. To sum up, the purpose of the communication is to get the message across the other. In this process, you involve both the sender and the receiver's message. In fact, the message is successful only when both the sender and the receiver perceive the message in the same way. A critical success for life is the majority of you perceive the message come from how you communicate. That is, you can see in a chart that it's 30%, and what you know is the 70%, how you can communicate it. A positive outcome is to encourage critical thinking, consider your audience information needs, technical background, cultural background, and gender, and knowledge of the subject.